Welcome to the first tutorial of Inventor through Camtasia Studio. Inventor is basically a drawing package, and Camtasia Studio is a screen recording package which I produce all my videos through. You're now looking at the main setup window in Inventor. The first thing I'm going to do here is just going to click on New in the top left hand corner. This will call up a dialog box that we're going to pick our type of drawing from. As you can see, there are many different selections here. There are sheet metal parts, standard drawings, standard assemblies, but the one we're basically most concerned about is the standard part, and it's there on the left hand corner at the bottom. So if we just click that now, the window changes to a sketch plane. Now on this sketch plane all of Inventor drawings are created. So the first thing I'm going to do here is just going to click on rectangle. This basically creates a simple rectangle, and it's created using the left mouse key by simple click and drag. When that's done, I'm just going to dimension it. Now it's very important in Inventor that everything is constrained properly. So when you click dimension, you can select this line and this line, and as soon as you do a third click, a dialog box comes up which gives the option of inputting the exact measurement that you want. Now when I clicked and dragged this rectangle, it was actually just over 21 millimeters. I can edit this now to 25 millimeters, and the same with the left and the right part of the rectangle. Another interesting point here as well is the fact that all measurements in Inventor can be selected to a default setting on download. So for this tutorials and all following ones, my measurements will be based on millimeters. What you actually saw there as well now was just the sketch plane kind of like flattening out. That is carried out by pressing the F5 key on the keyboard. Basically this makes it very easy to see when we're extruding from 2D to 3D. So the first thing I'm doing now is just basically finish the sketch. This is remove the sketch plane and open the model toolbar. So up here in the model toolbar you see extrude. This will now extrude from the 2D flat plane to a 3D model. So if I just go ahead and click that, I get the option here of the thickness of my actual component. I'm going to just change this to 5 millimeters, and you can see that it's now not as thick as it was. I can create a new sketch again on top of this 3D model. I can go through the exact same steps again. I can click rectangle, click and drag, and I want to dimension the new rectangle now in the sketch plane. I'm constraining the rectangle to the sides of the existing 3D model, so it can't move and the drawing will operate correctly. I can finish that sketch now again. Simply go to extrude, select the item and select the thickness. The reason that it had to be selected this time for the extrude command is basically there's another part underneath it. When I created my first rectangle, it didn't have to be selected because there was nothing else available. That button there has been clicked on the right hand side basically gives access to a free orbit. I can now just click and drag and turn the 3D model any which way I want. Over here on the left hand side there is drop down menus, and if you hover over each of them you can actually see the actual part name and the actual part concerned on the drawing as well. If I right click on any one of these icons, it'll open up an extra menu where I get the option to edit a sketch, redefine a sketch, create notes, etc. What I want to do here actually just edit the sketch. So I click on that, I can now go back into the sketch again, double click on my dimensions, and it'll actually change the positioning with reference to the dimensions involved. The best thing about Inventor in this respect, when I finish the sketch again, it'll move the part in the 3D model to suit the 2D setup that we've just edited. I can create another sketch now on top here again, and this time I'm just going to call up a circle. The circle works in the exact same way as the rectangle. I can just simply click, drag, add a dimension, and extrude again. So this time I made my circle 3mm. I can now click on the two lines involved, insert a dimension, and also in this direction. I can now finish my sketch and go through the same process again to go to click extrude, click the part to be extruded, selecting the length that I want the extrusion to occur in, and now this part is modelled the exact way that we have drawn it. It's set up the limitations of the dimensioning that we have defined. But if I don't like this, or I find there's anything wrong with it, I can actually go back in again, edit the sketch, edit the dimensions, or edit the size of the circle if required. As soon as I finish the sketch, it updates the 3D model once again. Also, the visibilities of the sketches may be turned on if anything needs to be, checked or edited or seen. So basically, the three sketches now, they're concerned of the bottom rectangle, the middle section, and the top cylinder have all been turned on at once. We can zoom in, we can check dimensions this way in a very kind of user-friendly fashion. However, these dimensions are not usually left on if they're not required, since they kind of impair the visibility of the finished piece. So I just turn them off there again. A very useful feature in Inventor is the fact that you can actually measure any item you've drawn. So just here I just went into the view. It gives me the distance there of the radius of the circle. I can restart, or I can measure an angle. So basically just going to click the face of the section underneath, click the cylinder, and it's actually giving me a 90-degree angle. I can also right click on properties, and since the cylinder on top is selected, it brings up a dialog box, the face, colour, style. I can select different profiles for the cylinder now on this occasion, and it can be edited into the actual model. I don't want to change this at the moment now, so I'm just going to click back out of this now again. I can also create a 3D sketch on the opposite direction. As you can see, this time now the sketch plane is up and down in front of the screen instead of flat as it was at the very beginning of the drawing. And click circle once again, click, drag, and just finish the sketch. I'm not going to dimension this time the sketch, just for the process of showing the viewer here just the steps. I'm not going to bother to mention that. I'm just going to carry on to just perform an extrude or a cut if required. As we see now, it's actually trying to perform a 2mm extrude of this circle. However, I might want to cut it. Now this icon's being clicked here is actually going to cut the cylinder 2mm inwards toward the piece, so it'll actually hollow out a 2mm section. If I go OK to that, you can see that the actual circle has been actually cut from the base block, and just orbit around there. And that's the completed part in Inventor, and I can use this later on in assembly for a wire. This particular item I've just done it for the process of demonstration. All these features can be edited over time if required. It could be possible to have different parts. You can edit for different applications. I'll be looking at this in future tutorials under the title of skeleton modelling, which basically take this part, link to Excel, and we can edit required parameters, and at any time we need to